Welcome back to Spooky Season. In this time to celebrate the dark and villainous, I decided to draw some Mario villains. Maybe, if you squint. Look, this episode was supposed to be out a month ago, and I'm retroactively trying to fit it into Spooky Season catalog. Cut me some slack. So without further ado, on with the show. Hello, my name is Professor Nemo, and today is my 4th day working at the SCP Foundation. I was given 4 more files to look through today, so let's get started. Apparently, all these SCPs were found in or near the underground kingdom that the Foundation recently discovered. Item number SCP-G994. Object Class, Euclid. Formerly safe. Special Containment Procedures. In most instances, SCP-G994 is content simply to stay in its underground island. Hint. However, in the event that he breaks into the above world, he is to be captured and contained in a 10-foot by 10-foot containment cell filled with bananas. If he escapes from this, he will be shot by the same operatives responsible for neutralizing SCP-6170. Wait, what's SCP-6170? You've got to be kidding me. Moving on. Description. SCP-G994 is a sapient gorilla-like primate with Caucasian skin and brown fur. It is also often seen wearing a red tie, with the entity's initials written in yellow letters. It is worth noting that this entity is related to, though distinct from, SCP-G981, a similarly brown-furred ape-like entity who once kidnapped the mayor of New York and was defeated by the now-former operative Mario. Oh, right, the operative we sent to observe the Mushroom Kingdom, only for him to get involved in local politics. I think he got with their princess, or maybe they're just friends, it's unclear. Either way. This entity lives on and appears to rule an island mostly entirely populated by sapient apes and monkeys, which, though they resemble species from our world, gorillas, orangutan, chimpanzees, spider monkeys, and others, they all seem to be the same species. Though the entity seems to be technically in charge, he spends most of his time collecting and hoarding bananas, a hoard which is commonly stolen by our next entity. Item number SCP-G995. Object Class, Formerly Safe, now Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-G995 is currently trapped within the Underground Kingdom. However, after recent events in which the entity escaped the Underground Kingdom, we now have containment procedures set up in the events that it happens again. Wait, what do you mean this thing escaped? Current containment procedures include taking the creature into a 10-foot by 10-foot semi-aquatic containment cell, likely chained to the floor and with a muzzle wrapped around its jaw to keep it from biting and or wrapping. I'm sorry, what now? Description. SCP-G995 is a large bipedal semi-humanoid crocodilian, often seen wearing a golden crown and red cape. Its underbelly appears to be made of solid gold. That makes no sense. How is part of its body just metal? Can it swim? How is that at all buoyant? I mean, maybe it's like flat and boat-like. Maybe it could work. Let me look at the image and, nope. Very not boat-like. You know, I'm just gonna ignore the physics and move on. The entity rules the species humanoid crocodilians known as Kremlings, who live on a moving island tower with a giant laser attached. I'm sorry, what? The crocodiles have giant lasers. Why do the crocodiles have giant lasers? These Kremlings are constantly at war with the Kongs, stealing their bananas, kidnapping their leaders, and trying to blow up their islands with the giant lasers. What is with the giant lasers? That's such an escalation. You were just stealing their bananas, and now you've moved on to domestic terrorism. What is wrong with you? Steve Erdelman would be ashamed. Anyway, there appears to be an update. There was a recent incident in which a battle between SCP-G994 and SCP-G995 managed to break into the real world. Powered by a strange root that we still have questions regarding, the city of New York was entirely taken over by melted, rotted bananas in a potential K-class scenario. Ew, that is a horrific image I don't want to think about anymore. Fortunately, SCP-G994 was able to subdue SCP-G995, which undid the damage to the city. Proper amnestics were applied to the entire population of New York, and proper security measures are now in place in case it makes a return. Okay. I'm just gonna move on. Okay, next one. Item number SCP-G2001. Object Class, Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Though SCP-G2001 has not yet escaped the Underground Kingdom, we would not put it past it to do so, due to its incredible power. In the event that this happens, we will contain the entity using a Poltergust 3000, a vacuum-like device created by Operative Elvin Gadd. Wait, we have those? We just have literal Ghostbuster weapons lying around. Of course we do. Never mind. Description: SCP-G2001 is a spherical phantasmal entity. It is a semi-translucent white color with purple eyes and a large purple tongue, as well as often being seen wearing either a golden or purple crystal crown. That might be one of the most horrific images I've ever seen. I don't want to look at it anymore. The creature appears to be the ruler of a species of anomalous creatures native to the Underground Kingdom known as boos. Despite appearing to be essentially cartoon ghosts, it is unclear if these are actually spirits of the deceased. A common quirk of this species is that, when they are directly gazed upon by a living person, they become frightened to the point of petrification. So they freeze if you look at them. These ghosts that can kill you instantly have stage fright. That makes perfect sense, I say sarcastically. However, it appears that their leader, SCP-G2001, does not have this problem. In addition, SCP-G2001 is much more powerful than the other boos, with additional powers such as reality warping, shapeshifting, and possession. Its most concerning ability has been to trap living beings inside of paintings, as it has recently done to former operative Mario. However, the attack was temporarily defeated by the cowardly former operative Luigi Mario, using stolen prototypes of Professor E. Gadd's tech. Well, that's good at least. Even if he's a traitor, he still stopped the evil Ghost King. However, this containment was temporary, and SCP-G2001 has made several more attempts at revenge on Luigi Mario, including most recently opening a hotel. What the? Fine, one more. It's been fairly chill today so far. Hopefully, nothing emotionally devastating comes next. Item number SCP-G996. Object Class, Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-G996 is contained within the Underground Kingdom and shows no interest in leaving. Oh well, that's at least good. No coming above ground and drowning New York in rotten bananas this time. Description: SCP-G996 is a humanoid yellow tortoise, often seen wearing glasses, blue robes, carrying a golden ruby wand, and riding on a broomstick. Oh, it's a turtle witch. That's weird, but speaking of which, pun intended, here, did you see the new Wicked for Good trailer? They made the silver slippers glow red. That's such a dumb way to counteract that copyright loophole. I almost respect it. But anyway, I got quite distracted. Anyway, this entity is currently working as right-hand man for one of the biggest threats to this underground kingdom, SCP-G985. Oh, yeah, that's the giant turtle that keeps trying to marry the princess for some reason. Why? I don't know, and I don't want to know. It acts as his second-in-command, using his immense magical prowess to assist in battle, either by increasing the strength of SCP-G985's forces, or using the reality-altering powers to tweak the battlefield. Right, the Turtle Witch can just casually alter reality. Great, good to know. However, we believe that the relationship goes deeper than a simple boss-to-minion relationship. From what we managed to uncover, it seems as if SCP-G985 was originally an orphan and was found and raised by SCP-G996. Oh, that's actually quite wholesome. The two have a father-son found-family relationship, which would later expand further. Some have said that SCP-G985's troops seem less like an army and more like a family. Oh, okay, I get it. This is actually really cute, and... Oh, come on! I called one anomalous turtle family cute. Is that really enough to warrant... Hello, my name is Professor Nemo, and today is my 4th day working at... If you have suggestions for spooky season episodes, comment below. But until then, goodbye, and I'll remember you all in therapy.